How's it, guys? This is Dayvy Fpl and welcome back to the Deadline with Dayvy live stream. This is going to be quite an exciting one tonight. Double Game Week 24, our first double game week of the FPL season 2019/2020. And we've got a lot to go over. Live transfers, captaincy, triple captaincy, and I've got you guys tonight. Don't worry, we'll be going over all the early team news. Not right now. I can't exactly predict those lineups just yet, but wait for about 20 past, and I'll be analyzing all that early team news with you guys. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can just stay here for the rest of the night till the deadline, and you will surely be covered. Probably a lot of debate about that triple captaincy and captaincy. As you can see on screen here, I literally haven't touched my team since the team selection. I know, quite a dumb move. Ali went down in price. Salah went up in price. So that provided quite a predicament, I know, for a couple of people. But the one thing I want to say, if that is an issue for you and you can't afford Salah, I don't know if I'd be taking a hit for him. I think I would just maybe be looking at the likes of Robertson, maybe for Kelly, or even Rico. I think that also is a good decision to go for. Otherwise, you can also opt for Firmino if you want to go for it. But we'll probably be confirming the transfers and the captaincy a little bit later on in the video or the stream, as I'll get as much news on the potential games as possible before making any decisions. But right now, it's probably going to be Ali to Salah, and then we're going to be hitting that lovely triple captain on Mohamed Salah. The reasons being, you probably saw in the preview or in the team selection, it's just his ownership. I'm kind of being forced into a little bit of a corner because of his ownership. I want to make the most out of my triple captainship. Want to try and get as much of a rank boost. So hopefully Salah does do well. It's going to suck a lot if Mane also bangs, and his effective ownership, I think it's going to be skyrocketed up for this game week. Probably about that 150%, 200% mark. So if you don't own Mane and you don't captain him, I think that we could be in for quite a rough event if he does manage to haul. Right now, as I said, this team is not confirmed, so please don't look at it and be like, oh my word, what are you doing? I just haven't made any transfers, so hoping to make them a little bit later on. In terms of Ollie saying, what's your overall rank? So we finished the last game week with a red arrow to about 114,000. That was quite bad maths there, but you can see the number on screen there. Apologies. Last game week wasn't too great. 45 points, a little bit above the average, but I think the top 10K was about 50 points. So disappointing there. Been about 4 red arrows on the bounce. So hopefully the triple captaincy on Salah pays off. It's going to have to, I think, because, triple captain, if you're not getting a green arrow with the triple captain, you're doing something wrong. In terms of, I saw some question a little bit earlier on from Nathan Bacon saying, good luck. Good luck. I thought you were going to come with some witty comment there, Nathan, but good luck to you too, brother. Hopefully it does do well. Starting off the stream, £2 donation from the Enchanted Fortress saying, I've placed for one, Target/Kelly or Lundstrom. So right now I'm currently playing Kelly. That's the only thing that's probably going to be confirmed about my lineup is the whole benching situation. Really not happy with benching Traore. I do believe that Wolves will score in that one, but I just have to kind of play my odds here a little bit. I am playing Alexander-Arnold. I think that Liverpool probably have a more chance of keeping a clean sheet than the likes of maybe Rico. I think with Southampton, they will score, but I'm also playing the odds there by playing Ings and just doubling up on the defense if anything else happens. But in terms of players to go for, I wouldn't be playing Lundstrom. It would either be one of Target or Kelly. I think that Target could be a little bit of a nice differential to go for, but I do think that Watford probably, it's a very tough situation to be in there. I think I would probably lean a little bit maybe towards Kelly. Reason being, if he doesn't start, there could be some rotation there in the defense. I know a lot of their defenders are coming back from injury now. So if Kelly doesn't start, then you can easily just have Target off the bench. Just make sure that he's your first or second sub. So I think I would go Kelly or Target. But if you're asking /Target and you don't have either of them, I would probably just keep Kelly. I don't know. I don't really trust Aston Villa's defense that much. And then Crystal Palace's fixtures look better. But thanks for the £2 donation. Sorry for pondering a little bit on there. Shady saying, Dayvy, would Diop play 2 games? Let's check. I don't know if he's been playing. I don't see any reason why he won't if he's been starting. You see, he hasn't had that many appearances. So I wouldn't be kind of banking on him too much. If you're on the wild card, then I can understand it. If you have him in your squad, you might as well just punt on him and play him. But otherwise, I don't think I'd be bringing him in. I don't think there are many West Ham players that I'd be looking at, to be honest. Especially with the news now that that Ndidi is apparently back for Leicester. That could see some better defensive ability from Leicester, so maybe not that much of a punt. It's really a bad game week for West Ham, to be honest. What channel is most popular to watch footy through in SA? It's probably going to be SuperSport. They have a couple of sporting channels over here in SA. We basically get every game. So there's a couple of channels that you can watch, but they're all basically SuperSport. So it'll be like SuperSport 3, 5, 7, but that's basically the most important kind of thing to go for. A&M saying, how crap is the weather? I just came back from Cape Town, so Cape Town was also quite hot. But down here in Gauteng, it's always a little bit on the warmer side. But it's not that bad. I thought that it's been a little bit cooler, which has been quite nice. FPL manager saying, will Ings play? I should hope so. I think Southampton are still in the FA Cup, but I would think that they would rather rest Danny Ings for that one than rest him for the Prem, because they've been doing quite well recently with the Prem. Is Martial on penalties now, says Soshlin. So I would probably say he's on penalties with Rashford out. They could maybe rotate there. I don't know if a player like maybe Juan Mata was playing. I don't know how good he is on penalties, but he might have a shot. But I definitely do think Martial will probably be the best shot to go for. Mohammed Maki saying YouTube donations isn't available in my region. No problem. Please, Dayvy, have a look at my question. Would you do Traore / Martial to Flex / Mane, or Kelly / Martial to Tanganga and Mane? So I would probably go for the latter. I just think there's probably a little bit more in there to go for. Traore is still a nice player to have on your bench, so I think I would go for the second option there. Todd Carlson saying, should I bring in Firmino or Robertson? Because I can't afford Salah now because of the price rises. So if you want to use your wild card later on, so this is my whole thing with the transfer. So I was a little bit undecided between owning Robertson or Salah. So I'm leaning towards Salah just because of the differential nature of it. I know that Robertson could also be a differential, but if you can't afford Salah or you want to make a move for late on in the season, I would just bring in Robertson. Reason being, you can keep him for these lovely fixtures. I probably will see the likes of Salah down to someone else and then upgrade Kelly late on in the season. But I think I would lean a little bit more towards the Robertson combo. But if you want to take a nice punt to go for this game week, I do think Firmino could be an option. What would be nice then is you can play it safe, captain Mane as well, Todd, and then you can just have Firmino as a little bit of a differential. So it depends if you want to kind of play it safe or go differential. But that differential nature also has a value of safety to it, if you know what I'm saying. You're not going all out and captaining Firmino. If you really have to make up space, then I would look at maybe captaining Firmino. Christoph saying there, triple captain Firmino. I'll talk about the triple captaincy now, actually. We've got a couple of people more in chat. So this is my whole dilemma with the triple captaincy. So the only reason why Young Thug saying, Dayvy, I can't send a super chat. No worries, you've sent enough, Young Thug, so I appreciate your support anyway. So the whole thing with my triple captaincy dilemma is, if you look at this game week, there isn't a certain player on my radar that I 100% want to triple captain. If Vardy had a double game week and no one else did, I would be like, Vardy's the best option. But with Mane and with Salah both being options, it's really a 50-50. And I don't know if I want to use one of my chips on a 50-50 decision, because that to me is not playing the odds well. And I'm kind of always a person that plays with the probability. So that's the only thing that's kind of leaning me a little bit more towards not using it. But then I kind of just look at these fixtures for them. First time we're honestly having a Liverpool double game week. In the previous seasons, we've always had to battle with the Man City rotation, Spurs being quite useless, and that kind of stuff. So with those types of things, I think this is almost too good of an opportunity to pass up, especially with the rest. I know there is that fixture happening about 3 days after the West Ham fixture. A lot of people have been asking maybe there would be rotation there, but I think there will be better rotation in the home game than the away games. I think the away games probably will be a little bit stronger, and then at home we might see some rotation. So that's the only thing that's leaning me a little bit more towards not using it. But as I said, too good of an opportunity. If I was to triple captain, a lot of people have been seeing Alexander-Arnold as their triple captain. I personally never really captain a defender. I know last season I probably did Shane Duffy, so that's a little bit of a contradiction there. But The only thing is, I think maybe if you want to have a mega differential, I just think that if you willing to let Mane and Salah, if they do bang, just kind of negate their points, that's a little bit of a risky strategy to go for. So I think only captain TAA if you have to make up mega ground. Mane is your safe option. If you happy with your rank, you want to play it safe, I would go for Mane. And then Salah's the one that's more of a little bit of a differential, more of a riskier pick. I know he's been in better form recently, but I still think that Mane's looked a lot better, having watched a lot of Liverpool play. But I do think that the ownership with Salah, if you're going to use your triple captain, you basically, as I said, I'm basically forced into using it. Show me the Mane saying, have you completely lost faith in Lord Lundstrom? Not that I've lost faith in Lord Lundstrom, but with the constant rumors of rotation with him, he's not playing that well. And I don't think I'm ever going to be playing a defender against Man City unless it's a Liverpool player. So show me the Mane. I haven't lost faith in him, but I think there's players in my lineup that have better fixtures than Lundstrom. Reef saying, is Vardy playing this time? He's going to be playing this time. He didn't play last game week. I don't know what happened to him. I think he was looking after his baby again, but hopefully he's back from injury this game week, and then we can maybe get some points with him. That's the one thing that I wanted to say. If you want to go mega differential on your captaincy, you could even maybe look at someone like Vardy. I don't think that it's the worst decision in the world. I do think he'll score against West Ham. I just can't see him not scoring. I know that that's not really the best kind of advice to give you as my personal one, but I really can't see Vardy not scoring in this one. I just think that West Ham, they don't really park the bus always, and Vardy always gets behind those defenses, so I think that'll be quite good. Think Ings and Mahrez will play, says Des Morgan. So I know with Ings, the manager came out and said that he won't overplay him, but I don't think he's been overplaying him. I think he'll overplay him if he starts him against Crystal Palace, and then he starts him in the FA Cup. That'll be overplaying. So I think he will get a rest in the FA Cup, and maybe Che Adams will play. But I do think that Ings is going to be in the Premier League. I personally think that Danny Ings is kind of going for a little bit of a record here, and maybe even chasing that golden boot. So I don't think him personally is going to be asking for a rest in the Premier League. Random Junkie saying, take a hit to avoid playing Cantwell / Lundstrom. I don't think that you necessarily have to not play Cantwell. I don't think he's the worst option. Spurs not looking too great. Norwich, basically all they have is attack. So you can always kind of count on them going for the game. And I think Cantwell's always going to be on the end of something. Reeve is captaining as Alexander-Arnold. Good, I would say. I really like the punt that you're going for with it. But I just think that it has to be from a differential point of view. Because then if it doesn't work out, you can look at it and you can say, listen, I had to kind of make up space in my mini leagues and my ranks, so I'm not too sad on it. Alex Dalton saying, hey, Dayvy, good to hear from you. Good to hear from you too, Alex. Are you not getting Salah? I'm getting Salah. Probably that's the transfer I'm leaning towards. I'm probably only going to confirm it a little bit later on, maybe when we have some more team news and that kind of stuff. Usama Navid saying, how's it, Dayvy? How's it going? Usama, nice to see you. Dan Skinner saying, how much do you look at expected goal stats and advanced analytics? So I don't really look at expected goal stats. The one stat I kind of look at a little bit is shots and shots on target. So if it's an attacker, I usually look at that. I sometimes look at expected points. I know that's kind of a bad stat to look at. There's not much truth in behind it, but I sometimes do look at that one. But other than that, I don't really look at that many things like expected goals, expected clean sheets, and that kind of stuff. I did see there was a donation that popped up, so it might have been through the other link. So just give me a little bit of time to set that up. Apologies for that donation. I'll get to it as soon as possible. Other questions that are being asked saying, Kelly, Rico. If you're saying Kelly to Rico, I don't know if I would do that move, but if you're saying Kelly is better than Rico, I do agree with it. I think Bournemouth are looking absolutely atrocious. The one punt I really like to look at is, or the one punt that I like to look at is the whole Brighton situation. John Chappell saying, you're not going to get Liverpool news tonight. I know I'm not getting Liverpool news tonight. The press conference is only tomorrow for Jurgen Klopp, so a little bit disappointing there. Let me just get to that donation that was posted. Okay, it wasn't posted. It was a super chat, so I don't know if it didn't pop up. It hasn't popped up on my end, so apologies for that one. I did see it was like a €2 donation. So if it was just a donation, thanks a lot. But if it was a question, just post it in chat, and then I'll try and get to it. Ayew in the front line, so I think that Ayew will continue to play. I don't exactly know Brighton's or Crystal Palace's lineup for last game week. I know Tosin looked quite good, so you can look at him maybe if you want a little bit more of an expensive option. But if you can only afford Ayew, I don't think it's the worst option in the world. Salah and Kale saying, I know you've probably been asked this, but Salah or Mane for captain if you have both. So if you're happy with your rank, I would go for Mane as he's the safe option, owned by a lot of people. But if you want to kind of climb the ranks, take a little bit of a differential punt, then I would go for Salah. Which team do you think will most likely get a clean sheet this game week? Most likely out of all the teams, says Chelsea Flyer. So if you look at all the teams here, I probably would say I think Everton have a good shout of keeping a clean sheet. I think Man City as well. I know that not a lot of people own Man City defender, so maybe that one doesn't bring you that much joy. I think United could have a shout of keeping a clean sheet. But in terms of other outside shouts, maybe Brighton. I think Brighton could also. But I think that there could be goals. These first 3 games, some people say that they're going to be really boring. And I can kind of agree with them. I think there might be quite a couple draws in here, but I don't think they're going to be goalless draws. So I'd probably say those are my top 3. Gareth Robinson saying, should I play Cantwell over Kelly? Much love from your Irish brother. Nice to hear from you from Ireland. It's one of the only countries that I can travel to without a visa. So that'll bring you some joy there, Gareth. As a South African citizen, I can't go many places. Should I play Cantwell over Kelly? It's a really tough spot to be in. Does the rest of your defense have good fixtures? If the rest of your defense have good fixtures, I would kind of lean towards taking a little bit of a punt on Cantwell. I think that Cantwell's ceiling is a lot higher than Kelly, and I don't have much faith with Kelly. If you don't own Guaita and you own Ings, then I would play the odds and I would just bench Kelly and play Cantwell. Because if Ings scores, then it's minus a clean sheet anyway. Elliot saying, hey, I'm 2.2 million rank. Should I triple captain TAA? I'm not going to tell you to do it. You have to say that to yourself, but I wouldn't advise not to. I think it's a nice little punt to go for. The one thing that I'm saying is that I really do think that Wolves score in the first fixture against Liverpool. I don't think that one's going to be a clean sheet for Liverpool. I think the West Ham option could be a good one. And if you think about it, if Alexander-Arnold gets an assist against Wolves, gets a clean sheet and assist against West Ham, that's a solid points appearance, and that's pretty good. I think you'll be happy with that for triple captaincy. I just think that it's a mega punt to go for. So at 2.2 million rank, I think you might as well go for it. So I would do it, Elliot. Dan Skinner saying, what was the maddest moment of last year's rank and the growth you've seen over the channel over the past year? So the growth's been pretty massive since last season. I think I've been doing YouTube for just over a little bit of a year. So obviously last season was the massive growth because of how well I did. But I think the maddest moment was just finishing that high. I sometimes just remind myself of it. And the odds of that happening and the luck that I had was crazy. Dennis Elias saying, hey, Dayvy, why Connolly? So with Connolly, Bournemouth are atrocious. He played 60 minutes. I know he's not playing a lot recently. I'm just hoping that he does get 60 minutes, as I do think he can get something out of this game. In terms of my kind of odds on scoring, I think that Connolly has maybe a little bit more of odds than Traore against Liverpool. I know I said that Liverpool will concede in that game, but so I'm pretty much contradicting myself. But I think that in terms of my team, I think I'm going to take a punt on Connolly. Traore has done me some good, so he can take a little bit of a rest this game week. And then Rico, I don't think Rico's going to do much in that game. Brighton have looked good going forward, so I'm kind of hoping that Connolly just plays. To be honest, I'd even just take maybe like a 45-minute appearance. The thing that kind of fills me with joy is that he only plays about 45 minutes here. He's played 45, 67, 45, 67. So if you're going on kind of a pattern to go for, he's probably going to play 45 minutes here. And I'm happy with 45 minutes. But what I'm saying is that he gets a minimum of 45 minutes. And then if he doesn't play, I can just get Traore off the bench anyway. I bring out Rico or Kelly for Robertson. I'd go for Rico out, Todd. I just don't really favor. I was saying, come to Mauritius for a fantasy masterclass. Mauritius is a lovely country to go for. I really like your beaches, so maybe I can go for it. Kelly or Brandon Williams. I would just take a punt on Brandon Williams. If he doesn't start, he won't come off the bench. So that's a really nice option to just go for. Another question, bro. I can't decide who's a safe option. Salah has been the best recently, but overall Mane is a little bit ahead. Also, Salah has been playing more recently. I think that Mane is the safe option to go for there. And there's no question about it, Alex. 100% Mane is the safe option to go for. Victor Jr. saying when to bench boost. I would probably recommend it to be a little bit late on in the season. That's who I would go for. Notorious Nerd, where's your third Liverpool player? He's coming in. He's just on the flight over. I'll confirm it in a little bit. Fantasy Football Focus saying Aurier or Soyuncu. Yo, that's a tough one to go for, Fantasy Football Focus. With how bad Leicester have been defensively, I almost want to say Aurier, but I do think if Ndidi's back, then that could be quite good for them. I think Aurier is a nice punt to go for, though. Yo, it's a tough one to go for. To be honest, having owned Spurs players, I would probably say go for Soyuncu. Norwich are just going to go all-out attack there, and I think they will nick a goal. So I'd say go for Soyuncu. Mohammed saying, Dayvy, come to Qatar. So the one plan that I might be doing is I might hop over for the 2022 World Cup. I think that would be quite nice to go for, especially if South Africa managed to qualify. But I'm not holding thumbs for much longer because we are not the best footballing nation in the world. So, but if SA qualify, I think I'll 100% be at that Qatar World Cup. Tangana versus Brandon Williams. I would say go for Brandon Williams. I think he's got more of an attacking threat. I know it's a little bit more, but the thing is I would just opt for him. Whom to start, Grealish or Martial? I don't think that you should be benching either of those players. So I think you need to look at your squad and take a nice assessment of them and then look at them and be like, okay, I can maybe bench a defender for those because you don't really want to go for those two options. Help, who to bench? Mora, Grealish, or Madison? Game X, you guys must have mega team value if you're willing to bench one of those guys. I honestly would not want to bench any of those. I think you have to play all of those. Just look at your squad and look at it again. Kyle Kennedy saying, how's it, Dayvy? Traore to start or Cantwell? I think that I would maybe opt for... Traore is probably the better player, but Cantwell maybe has a little bit more of an easier fixture, so I'd probably say Cantwell. Are you using the triple captain chip this game week? I think I'm basically 70% sure that I'll be using it this game week. But I really hate using it and even captaining Liverpool players because then I watch them and then if Salah misses a goal, I get quite annoyed. Brandon Shapiro saying 730 viewers, Davey, very nice. Thanks, Brandon, for reminding me. I appreciate all you guys joining. I know there's a couple of people streaming, so I appreciate you guys joining this channel. Dan Skinner saying, still smiling, lol. That image is now ingrained. Happy. I don't know what image it is, but hopefully it's a good image. Harold saying, how's it, David? Greetings from Cape Town. Hopefully the weather's got a little bit better there. I heard that you guys were having a little bit of a wind. Hi, David. Don't you want to go triple reds or am I missing something? So this team is not confirmed. I still have to do my transfer. Leaning towards Ali to Salah and then triple captaining Mohamed Salah. Comment who you guys... I want to actually know if you guys are triple captaining and who you guys are triple captaining because that'll be quite interesting. The other thing to take note is please just drop in chat if you have any early team news. I've got the Twitter accounts on the monitor as well, so I'll keep you guys updated if I see anything. But I would appreciate if a bit of you viewers comment if there is anything leaked. Alexander Arnold triple captain. Ings might be rested. Mo Salah. I'm seeing a lot of Mo Salahs and a lot of Manes. Probably the two that are going to be the most popular. Hi, Davey. Start Greenwood or Cantwell? I would start Greenwood. I think that Greenwood does have a chance of starting, so if you do have him, then I would play him. Why is no one talking about the fact that Liverpool have Southampton only 3 days after the West Ham fixture? There could be rotation, says Jack Fraser. So we spoke about a little bit earlier on, Jack, but the reason that I'm kind of saying is that I think that Liverpool are more inclined to rotate at home. I think they're a lot stronger at home, so I think the away fixtures could be a little bit more of rotation. And I don't think it makes sense for Liverpool. I think they have their Champions League fixture the day after that West, or not the West Ham game, the Southampton game. I'll check for you right now. So they don't actually have, they have a nice little run of break after the Southampton game. So we could see some rotation there, but they do have about a 2-week break in between Southampton and the next fixture. So we could see maybe some reduced minutes, but I'm kind of on the side of there being more rotation at home than away. We also had 1,000 rupee donation there from Navad I'm butchering this name. Nahavda. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I'm not. Apologies for that. Hey, Davey, who would you downgrade to afford Ali to Salah for -4? I have the same team as you, but I'm 0.6 short. So if you're really inclined on getting Salah, then the player that I would probably look at downgrading, it's a tough spot to be in because there's not many players that I think that I would maybe downgrade. How much is Guaita? So Guaita's 5.1. So the transfer that I would probably make if you need 0.6 million, if you bought him for 5.1 like I did, you kind of only need to buy a 4.5 keeper. And let's look at Gun. So Gun doesn't play. Oh my goodness. What's the other Southampton keeper that you can go for? I think it's McCarthy. Yeah, so McCarthy is 4.4, so you can probably go for him. He seems like he plays a lot, so I think that I would probably just downgrade Guaita. That's probably going to be your simplest transfer. Reason being, don't want to kind of lose Soyuncu. You could if you wanted to, but he could be a downgrade. But then you're looking at another 4.3 defender, and there's not many two options to go for this. So I'd say go for Guaita. I appreciate the 1,000 rupee donation. That's quite a bit, so thank you. Will Gomez start? I think Gomez will start. Dan saying don't get Southampton defense. They are bad in the defense. That's the kind of the only option to go for in terms of, I think, below 4.5 keepers. Maybe just look at 4.5 keepers and go for one, but other than that, I don't really think so. A question is how risky it is to transfer out KDB for Son. KDB has blanked a few games now. So if you look at KDB's games, they get a little bit tougher here, but KDB is always a strong performer in the tougher games. I don't think it's necessarily the most risky one to go for. I think maybe Ali, if you look at Ali's fixtures, they have Norwich, but then they have Man City away. So I think if you want to take a massive punt for this game week, then go for it. But I do think over this entire season, then I would go for, I would just keep Kevin De Bruyne. Fpl Dancer saying, Gomez causes me anxiety, double Leicester defense, triple risks all over. But it's risks that get you far in FPL. So don't worry there, FPL Dancer. If it comes off, you're going to be over the moon. Another 200 rupee donation. So I should have added that the only person on your team I don't have is Guaita. So at least you clarified that. Just comment in chat who you do own as your keeper. If it is a 4.5 keeper, then I really don't know what you're going to do. Unless you maybe have, if you have two playing keepers, unless you have so if you have Martin and you have a 4.5 option, I don't know who to go for there. I might kind of suggest to you maybe don't get Salah and maybe go for maybe like Robertson or something like that. Because you're kind of destroying your team then otherwise. Eric saying Alisson could be a good option to go for as well. I think he's the lowest risk, but the lowest ceiling as well. I know that he did get a clean sheet last game week, but I don't see him getting an assist again. So, but Alisson could be a good option to go for. As I said, most guaranteed option to do. Hi, Dayvy, Decore or Greenwood? I would go for Greenwood. Hi, Kelly or Ward. If you're talking about Ward from Crystal Palace as well, you could go for him, maybe more of an attacking threat. I know he came back for 1 minute, so he could start. I think you just basically start either of those. If one plays, the other probably won't. I think I would go for Ward, though, off the bat, because he has a lot of better attacking threat. Alex Repetto saying transfer Rob for Rico or Salah to Grealish. So you're probably saying Robertson for Rico or Salah for Grealish. So I think that Salah probably has the highest ceiling, so that's who I would go for. But Robertson's a nice option also to go for. So it's kind of, you have to see how your team's set up. If Salah destroys your squad and Grealish is literally your last good playing player and you don't have a bench, then I would just do the Robertson transfer. But otherwise, I think Salah's the better ceiling, so you have to go for it. I have Ryan in goal. That's also a tough one to go for. I honestly don't know who I would downgrade. Probably Soyuncu then. I would just take Soyuncu to whoever you can afford, and then I would upgrade it. If you really set on Salah, but otherwise, as I said, maybe go for Robertson instead. Soyuncu to Holgate, as Alvi saying. That could be an option to go for if you want to go for him. What to do with Saw? He has played very well on the wing, says Eric. As far as I'm concerned, I think Saw had quite a bad injury. So he's expected back 1st Feb. I would probably say lose him for that. If he's expected back for the Everton game, not the worst fixture, but not the best in the world, so I would maybe look to lose him. Could opt for maybe someone like Grealish. He has Watford and Bournemouth up next. Quite nice fixtures. But otherwise, there's quite a lot of options to go for. You could even opt for Traore if you need the cash. Should I play Tomori or Lundstrom? I would go for Tomori. If Tomori doesn't start, he doesn't come off. So, shout out for South Africa. Keep Mahrez. If not, who to swap for? Cheers. So you have 8.4 million. With Mahrez, it's really a kind of like a 50-50. If you think he's going to start, you might as well just keep him. At 8.4 million, there's not many people to go for. The one option you could go for, not Ali, but Lucas Moura. Started at centre forward last game week, so that I like the look of that. So you could also opt for him. The one thing that I also wanted to just address quickly, that I think I forgot to do, is that just a shout out to our sponsor, OneFootball. A great footballing app, can keep you up to date with all the fixtures coming up, thick and fast here. Nice double game week reminder. A great app, I've been using it for a while. iOS and Android, free to download, link down in the description below. So do apologies for bringing up that sponsorship quite late on. I just kind of was a little bit preoccupied with the transfers and everything. I'm sure that the people over at OneFootball wouldn't mind my excitement. Would you play Williams over Webster? I think that I might, if Webster's back, I think I would play him. Reason being, attacking threat as well. And you could always look at him. Hey, Dayvy, will Trossard be a good differential? I think he is a good differential. I really like the looks of him. Start Brandon Williams, Lundstrom, or Kelly. I would start Brandon Williams. Is Delafeu a good option? He could be a nice little differential to go for. Watford have some nice fixtures. Healer saying, how's it, Dayvy? Are you making transfers? 20 minutes to deadline. I'm going to be making transfers. Probably going to be Salah in and then triple captaining him. Played free it. Should I start Gazaniga and Aurier together? Gazaniga or Foster? I think that Aston Villa at home should probably score on that one. So I think you should just take a punt on going for that double Spurs clean sheet. More of a odds. Corin Wright saying, peace, Davey. Greetings from Scotland. Nice to have you here. When I was in Cape Town on holiday, there was a Scottish couple that took a photo for me. So I like Scottish people. I have the same team, but we'll do Rico to Robertson. How would you starting 11 look like if you did that transfer? So I'd probably take Kelly off and I would play Robertson there, Todd. Brandon Williams or John Fleck? I would go for Brandon Williams. Should I start Ings and Grealish or Calvert-Lewin and Martial? Should I get Ings and Grealish or Calvert-Lewin and Martial? That's a tough one to go for. I think I favor Ings and Grealish just because they're so integral to their squads, but I do like the other transfers as well. Maybe you can get all of those guys in your team and that will look quite good. Lundstrom or Tanganga? I would go for Tanganga. Triple captain Arnold. I would go for him if you want to go differential. Firmino as a triple captain. I would go for Firmino if you want to go mega differential there. Otherwise, I don't know. William Diaga is saying, good luck, everyone. Good luck to you too, William. Hopefully, it's a really good game week and kind of the triple captain doesn't disappoint us. Aguero or KDB, says Peter Cruz. Leaning a little bit more towards Aguero because of how good he's been. I think that with Aguero, you're always going to have that rotation, but the thing is, you're always going to have to kind of worry about not playing him and playing him. So I would just say get Aguero and just hope for it. Any team news leaked? Let me check for you. The one that I'm kind of interested in is going to be the Southampton news, because a lot of people have been talking about Danny Ings and how he might get benched and that kind of thing. So it'll be quite nice if we do have some team news there. But I will keep you guys updated all the time. Sources are saying Lundstrom is benched, says Sebastian. So if that is true, you could look at that. Evening, Davies, says Elite FPL. Evening, guys. How you doing? Hopefully, you guys are using a triple captain this game week. It'll be quite nice. Wild card or triple captain? I would go triple captain for this game week. I wouldn't use my wild card yet. I would kind of save it for maybe later on. Some more double game weeks going to be coming up. Some more blanks going to be coming up. So you could look at those options rather. Should I play Greenwood over Traore? I think it's worth the punt. I think Greenwood has a far easier fixture, has that chance of starting. And then if he does, he's looked really good. He has quite a good probability, if you're going to be betting, of him scoring. So that could be an interesting one. Brighton to keep Percy Tau. I hope so. I saw him play. I think he plays in Belgium for Club Brugge. I don't know if that is correct, but I saw him a couple there. He doesn't really start that much, but he does look quite wide for them. Greenwood over Soyuncu. If Greenwood was guaranteed to start, I'd probably say it's worth a punt. As long as your defense is good. Elite FPL, I don't know if it's Jason or Stevo. I personally like that punt to go for. Des Morgan saying FPL Rockstar might have Ings news. I'll be refreshing that page hopefully, and hopefully we do get some news. The thing is, if Ings is benched, would you put him on your bench? That's the question. Ings always could come off and maybe get something, but I just think that if he is benched, it kind of takes away from his threat a lot. The thing is, though, if Southampton are losing that game, then 100% Danny Ings comes off the bench. And you got to be favouring him if Southampton are at a losing position and then they have to get a goal. I'll check probably at about 20 past. I think 20 past is probably going to be the time that we check team news. I think at 20 past, I probably will be making my moves and my transfers and my triple captaincy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hey, Dayvy, play McCarthy or Henderson in goal. I'm starting Stevens, by the way. I think you go, as they say, something deep and a kill, and you just play McCarthy. You double up on that defense and you just hope for the best. I start Cantwell or Ayew. I'd go for Ayew. We have 200 rupees again. Soyuncu to Tanganga and Ali to Salah. I like those moves. That looks quite good, especially if you're going to be captaining Salah. If you're going to be captaining Salah, that move should pay off hopefully quite well. Do you think Mane is more likely to be rotated than Salah? I think they're both probably even, to be honest there. I think that both of them could get some rotation. Shaqiri's coming back. He could maybe come back into the lineup, but I think he should be used maybe then for the FA Cup. But I just kind of hope that there's no rotation that'll put a big damper on our triple captaincy. And I mean, if there's rotation kind of then, we're going to have so much more rotation in other weeks. Mane has been rested a lot lately in games. I do think that there is an argument for the whole playing a lot of minutes, but then I also do think that there comes a point where if a player has played 90 minutes and there's 5 days of rest, it kind of gets negated because of how much rest they've had then with training and everything. So I don't think it's a thing of playing so many minutes. No rotation there. They have to win the league, says Mr. Misk. I do agree with you. I think the league's going to be prioritized at least until the Champions League comes back. Then I think we could look at some rotation. Lascelles is also a great differential for the next couple of game weeks. I thought that as well, but then he got injured and then I transferred him out of my squad, but he could be for you. Anyone is kind of a differential if you have the luck kind of to go for it. Trossard, Martial, or Spurs mid as Sar's replacement. If we look at fixtures here, I think the one that probably stands out is Trossard. He has some really nice fixtures coming up. But I do think that Martial or Spurs mid could be nice. The one that I would probably look at is Lucas Moura. He started up front, but they kind of have some tough fixtures coming up. So I favor Trossard a little bit. Firmino or Mane captain. I would go Firmino if you have to be mega differential and you want to catch up some points. Or I would go Mane if you want to go really safe. Should I play Lundstrom or Traore or Rico? I would probably play Traore in that case. 15 minutes, says A&M. We have another $2 donation saying Cantwell or Connolly. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Connolly just because of the ceiling, but I do think that Cantwell is also a good option to go for. Lundstrom or Dendoncker. I think I would go for Lundstrom. If he doesn't play, he probably won't come off the bench. And with Dendoncker, I don't know. I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think he has that much attacking threat. I triple captain TAA. Fingers crossed. So good luck to you. West Ham options. I think the only one that I might go for is maybe someone like Cresswell, Haller, or someone like that. But I'm not too fond of the West Ham kind of players, especially over this double up. Jan Eric saying, hi Davey, who would you prefer, Moy or Trossard? I would probably go for Trossard. Just remember that Mane is just Sane with an M. Someone on r/FPL. That's very true. Hopefully they don't go for. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. If you don't know, a lot of people triple captain Sane and that didn't kind of work out. Okay, so let's get to some transfers. I think that this is the time to do the transfers. So I think the transfer I will be making is going to be Ali out and Mo Salah in. You can see, look at that. 0 money in the bank. If that's not destiny, I don't know what is. But I think that that's basically telling me that I should do these transfers. I don't know about you guys. Do you think I should do these transfers? I think this is probably going to be a good decision to do. So this is probably going to be the transfer that I'm going to be doing this game week. I'll confirm it in a little bit. I want to kind of wait till there's team news out and then to kind of be 100% sure. But I do think that I think that Ali could do something this weekend. I kind of feel like against Norwich, every player that I've transferred out and player that I've brought in has been bad luck. So I'm hoping that this game week is kind of the gate, or the negate of it, kind of the break of the curse. I'm hoping that the triple captain kind of frees me from this curse that I've been under this game week, or these past couple game weeks. Will Connolly start? ? So that's going to be something that hopefully we get some early team news in. If he doesn't start, I probably will just play Traore. But otherwise, I probably will just maybe take a punt on him. So far, I don't think there's been any team news leaked. I've been refreshing, and there's been nothing so far. So I'm pretty sure that you guys will keep me updated. Hopefully, it'll probably come about 20 past that we get most of the news. I appreciate you guys hitting over 900 viewers. Drop a like on the stream if you are enjoying it. Hopefully, a couple of smiles being put on your face tonight. Are you planning on keeping Traore after this game week? I probably will keep Traore. He's just so cheap. And then he has Norwich at home, a couple of nice fixtures. At 5.7 million, I bought him for quite cheap. As you can see, 5.4 million. So I don't think it's worth transferring out. Sashlin saying, Dayvy, save your team. I'll be making the transfers quite soon. Hopefully the site doesn't crash or anything. Dave, you have Martin, but he was immediately dropped for Randolph. Should I start him? So don't start Martin, Sebastian. He's not going to be playing. Unfortunately, I kind of was hoping, but kind of clutching at straws a little bit as well, that there would be some news. So it does look like we will be getting some early team news, especially from the Southampton game. So keep your eyes on that one. We have another 200 rupee donation saying, Ali/Leonku to Salah for -4 or Rico to Robbo for no hit. I can't decide. So if you're going to be captaining Salah, I would do that move. But if you're not keen on captaining Salah, then I would just drop it. I think then just go for Rico to Robbo for no hit. The only reason I would go for that transfer is if you're going to be captaining Salah. We also have £2 from Jose saying Fleck or Abraham sub for Brandon Williams. That is a tough spot to be in. I do think that Abrahams will start this game. So I think that just start Abraham instead of Fleck. I think that my order of starting would be Abraham, Brandon Williams, Fleck. That'll be kind of who I go for. Good luck this week, says Sam. Good luck. Thanks to you too, Sam. Hopefully this is going to be a great game week. Shadir saying, thank you, Dave, for your tips. Keep it coming. Much love to South Africa. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you joining the stream. And hopefully this is going to be a good game week for us all. Still no kind of news to go by. We're probably gonna have some confirmed news. Hopefully it's not too late. Are you gonna triple captain? So I think I will be triple captaining this game week. Let's go for it. I'm gonna make this transfer, guys. Ali to Salah. Let's confirm it. And then let's go to my team. Drop that captaincy on Salah. And then should we play the triple captain? That's the question. Should we play the triple captain? That is going to be a good question to go for. So Elite FPL saying Aguero benched. So if you do own Aguero, that would be something that I'd be looking at. So let me post this here for you guys. Okay, so you see here we have FPL subscribe. So give some love to these accounts because they are sharing some news. So Aguero benched, Mahrez, Sterling, KDB, and Jesus play. Laporte is back too, but Laporte, that could be maybe on the bench, maybe in the starting lineup, I don't know. But the big one is Aguero bench. So if you do own Aguero, maybe consider I would still play him. I think he'll come off the bench probably. But that's just something that you guys should keep your eyes on. We also hit 1,000 viewers. Much appreciated, guys. Thanks for joining. We have Ings benched. That's big news. That's big news there. So we do have here. So now we have the second bit of news. So we have here Crystal Palace versus Southampton. Ings benched. Ings is benched. Long starts. Kelly, Tosin, and Ayew start. So if you have any of these players, keep your eyes on it. Now the question is, do we bench Ings? I'm leaning towards a benching of him. If he's not going to be starting that game, I think that I'm just going to play the odds maybe. I don't know. That's a tough spot to be in here. Should we bench Ings, guys? I feel like he's going to come on though. I feel like he will 100% come on late in the game, especially if Southampton need a goal. But I think I kind of have to just go for it, and I have to go for the player that's going to start 90 minutes. Ach ja, no, lekker man, thanks, and Finodval, appreciate it. I think that's what we're going to have to do, guys. I think we're going to have to bench Daddy Ings, and that's going to be unfortunate. But how much of a coincidence is that? I bring in Danny Ings, he doesn't return, and then he gets benched. So far, no more team news has been published. The one that I really want to know is about the Connolly move. But the thing is now, I might as well just play Connolly. I would rather just take Connolly playing a little bit over another thing. Now that Ings is benched, should we start Kelly? I do think that you kind of have to play the odds on this one and play the player that's going to play 90 minutes. I think that in this case, if Danny Ings is getting a rest, then I think that he won't play that much. So I'm going to go for it and I'm going to bench him and I'm going to hope for the best. Hopefully we get some more team news or something like that. That'll hopefully give us some faith. Remember, I'm only on these 2 accounts, so there could be other accounts that are posting team news. So just keep your eyes out on Twitter. I know a lot of you guys over on Twitter, if you're not following me at Dayvy Fpl, but I know a lot of you are on that kind of feed. So if there's any more team news coming this way, then just post it down in chat. Is Tanganga sure to start? I don't think he's 100% sure to start, but I do think he has a good chance. I think that's kind of what you have to go for. You have to just kind of hope that he does. I think it's one of those where if he doesn't start, he might not come off the bench. Mane to Salah for -4 is dumb, says Ed Kennedy. I do think that's a little bit sideways, so I don't know if I'll be doing that move. Triple captain. So that is something that we have to kind of decide. I think I will be using my triple captain this game week. Okay, so there's been more news about Man City. David Silva, Bernardo Silva not in the lineup. Rodri, Fernandinho and Morris in midfield. Otamendi and Laporte are centre backs. So if you own Bernardo Silva or David Silva, they're not playing. But if you do own Morris, he's going to be playing. And Otamendi and Laporte are going to be your centre back pairing. So that looks quite nice there. It seems a lot of people are saying that they're not going to be benching Danny Ings. I think that with that news, I will 100% be benching him. I just don't know. I don't feel like why you would rest him for about 40 minutes and then bring him on about 60 minutes. Just give him the game off. Or just play him and take him off early. News about Brighton, is Webster playing? I don't know. I don't know if there is any news. 5 minutes left to deadline. So guys, I think this is probably the moment you all have been waiting for. But I think we're going to be playing the triple captain. I think we're going to be playing the triple captain this game week. I think this is going to be the game week to do it. Refresh the squad there. Salah captaincy locked in. I'm going to go for Salah. I spoke about in the preview and the preview and the team selection. I'm kind of hoping just for Salah to go for it. Hoping that the kind of news is out. News is out, so let's check for any team news that has been brought up. So Ings is benched. That's been confirmed by 2 accounts, which is quite annoying for us, but one that we could have maybe expected. We saw the press conference news, but I don't see any other news to go by. So I think that's probably going to be, unless we have any more news to go for. Teasmeister saying, joining the Super Mo triple captain crew. Yes, Teasmeister, I am. Hopefully we can do quite well in this one. And hopefully it does do quite well. So hopefully, I don't know if you guys are following me on this one, if you're going to be using your triple captain or not. But I'm hoping that it's going to be quite a nice game week to go for. Obviously, we'll always have people that aren't triple captaining. And might not be the best situation to go for, but I just feel like I'm going to be going for it. Time James, another member, saying, Dayvy, how's it? Glad you could join us, even if it is only for the last couple minutes of the deadline. 4 minutes left of the deadline. Just keep that in your sights, guys. Hopefully that isn't hopefully that is a lot of time for you guys to make your decisions and everything. But I think the big one this week is probably going to be the whole triple captaincy debate. I know a lot of people are going to be using it this game week. A lot might not. But it's kind of what we have to go for. Missed my Twitter, bruv. Heartbroken. Had to swap out Rashford for Jimenez. Don't think that's a bad transfer at all there at time. Should be quite a good one. Jimenez is looking quite good form. Unfortunately, it is against Liverpool, so it's probably going to be quite a tough game. Triple captain Van Dijk, thoughts if you need to be mega differential. A lot of people are saying that Lundstrom is benched. So I wasn't going to play him anyway, but if you were playing him, you might want to just kind of keep out. No worries. Thanks for joining. Bye. If you guys are departing now, I know it's quite early to the deadline, so maybe keep your eyes on that one. I don't think we have any more transfer news of team selections, early team selection news. So looks like this is going to have to be kind of the wrap up of the squad. Alvin Block saying Son or Grealish. I would just go for Son. I've got a nice 2.5 million in the bank. Hopefully you're going to spend it wisely in the future there, time. Matt Ryan or Foster for this game week. I think that I would lean maybe a little bit towards Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan probably has a better chance. I think Aston Villa at home are going to be quite good. Kelly or Ings. I would go for Kelly. Ings or Hayden. I think you might as well just play Ings. There's the only reason why I wouldn't play Ings is if you're going to have a player that's guaranteed to start 90 minutes. Then it's pretty much better odds to just keep him. Long or Traore, I think I would go for Long in that situation, JC. He's confirmed to start, so should I start Greenwood? I would start Greenwood over Kelly. I think Greenwood could be a nice little shout to go for this game week. Damn, I wish we had more transfer news, but I think I'm getting a little bit greedy with the early team news. We have 1 minute till the deadline, so if you guys don't know, I did make my transfer. Ali out for Salah, and I have triple captain Salah. So the triple captain has been played this game week. Hopefully it pays off dividend, and hopefully it's going to be quite a nice game week. Otherwise, I don't know. Traore over Cantor, I would go for Cantor or Dunk. I would probably lean a little bit more towards Cantor, more of an attacking option. Sidibe or Williams, I'd go Sidibe. Schmeichel or Henderson, I'd go for Schmeichel. Ings over Kelly, Mapai / Jimenez also starting. I think I would go for Kelly in that situation. Hopefully he does start. 15 seconds, says Ollie. We're kind of wrapping up the stream and the deadline. I appreciate all you guys joining out. Hopefully it's going to be a great one. Big news is that we have used our triple captaincy chip. I've got my deadline right on cue here, so hopefully you guys managed to get your transfers in. Just going to hit the refresh there. Oh, actually, we still have a couple of minutes there. It looks like the deadline's a little bit later, but I don't think so. But there we go. Game is updated. We're going for some team news there. Let me check some team news here. So we have no Connolly, says Devon Little. So that's probably going to be quite annoying if he does come off the bench. So Connolly is on the bench there. Hopefully he doesn't come on. But then again, would you rather have Connolly coming off the bench or Danny Ings? I think that Bournemouth defensively a lot worse. So that's a little bit unfortunate there. A little bit hard to take. Also, let's check if Lundstrom was benched. So Lundstrom was benched as well. That's an interesting one to go by. Hopefully that's not a tell for the future. I think if this new player, Besic, does do quite well, then we could be looking at some unfortunate circumstances. Kelly starts. We had that news. Tosin up front. Danny Ings as well, benched. He is on the bench, so he could come on. In terms of Everton, I know a lot of people own Sidibe. So Sidibe is playing along with Lucas Dean and Holgate. Popular picks. We still don't have Richarlison. He's out injured. In terms of Newcastle, I don't really think many people own Newcastle, so we won't go for them. Jack Grealish starting, as well as Target and Gilbert. You could maybe own them. Dini starting with Delafeu. And then I think that's basically like the most news that we know. I know a lot of people might not own Bournemouth, but both Wilsons are starting, and it does look like Rico is starting as well. So that's basically going to wrap up the stream, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Hopefully the triple captain pays off, and we will be looking at quite a nice score next game week. But I appreciate you guys joining in. Hit above 1,000 viewers. I really do appreciate all you guys' support. I'm going to be signing off. This has been Dayvy FPL, and good luck for game week 24.